Hi guys, so today you actually join me in the Range Rover, and as you can see from the title, got a major problem. And this isn't a video I actually wanted to do. I actually wanted to do an honest, brutally honest review on actually owning a Range Rover and the life of it. Now, this wasn't the intention. I went to move this car the other day and we have a major issue that I can't even drive the car. So let's get straight into it and show you the issue. So, ignition on, low battery on the key, whatever, and then foot on the brake pad warning light. That is one problem, but that's not it. That is just a sensor shock for a Range Rover. Next thing, we start it. Great, starts fine, no problem. Have a quick look at the warnings. Brake pad warning, as we know, lovely sensor. They love a sensor on these. Great. Okay, next problem. So, you see this pops up. So when you start the car, I'm going to show you that in a second, this comes up. So, yeah. I've got my foot on the brake, just down there as you can see. And it's not allowing me to come out of park. I've even tried to press the handbrake down, which it does. I can feel the handbrake coming off. And then allowing back on. So I know the brake's working and the brake pedal itself must be working, because otherwise it wouldn't allow me to take off the electric handbrake on or off. This all works, this is all fine, but for some reason I can't get this to work. I've read online that these are a common problem to go in the Jaguar as well, and there's a little solenoid that moves something in or out, or there's like a gear inside that allows it to release so you can get it out of park, and then obviously, you know, through the other gears. So here is the gear selector unit inside, and as you can see, it's controlled by a cog. Now there's also a circuit board that controls a solenoid that allows you to select the gears. Now where that's arrowed, that goes back and forth and allows the cog to turn. Now this is a temporary fix that people do. They put a bit of cardboard on the lever that pulls that little bit of plastic back away from the cog so you can keep turning the cog freely. Now we're not going to do that. We're actually going to fit the unit properly and get it repaired, because we don't, clearly that's there for a reason. So let's fingers crossed that is the problem. So for now it looks like we're going to have to take this whole center console out to get to that, and that is if that is the problem, as it keeps focusing. So that is potentially the problem, but I'm really praying it's not the gearbox. I mean, the gearbox was fine. I've never had any issues with it. It's never felt like it's broken, but it is a Range Rover, so you never know what the issue is going to be. So we're hoping that it's this. This is a common problem. I've actually found somewhere on eBay that you send it off and they repair it, and I'm going to actually insert the screenshot of that now, where I'm going to send it to. So yeah, there's no other warnings on the dashboard. Obviously there's just a standard brake pad warning light, whatever. Brake pads are fine, and then obviously you've got the access ride height, which we know as that's selected, as it's not going to focus. Yeah, there's the access ride height, sorry, just there. You can change that by this button here, which goes up and down. That's locked in access, so that means obviously getting in and out of the vehicle. And then you've got all these other little switches, which we'll sell you in another video. That was my intentions for the next video on this Range Rover, not we've got a major problem and I can't drive it. So this Range Rover's done 77,000 now, which isn't too high for one of these. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. 16 plate, so you know, it's done fair low miles. I actually bought this car from a dealer, a very well-known dealer, who actually is involved in the racing in Goodwood, does tons of racing in the Le Mans and stuff like that. Yeah, he does loads of stuff, which is really cool. He's a really nice guy. He got it from someone who was actually a funeral director. So this used to be a car that used to go to funerals, or at least the where he worked. So yeah, we've gave it a new lease of life. I'm going to insert some pictures, how it used to look to how it does now. So I'm sure a lot of you will prefer it like this. However, I prefer it like this, and that's my personal preference. So that's just how I wanted it. And I will do another separate video of what I've done to the car and what mods are actually on it. what's changed and what I'm going to do moving forward. So our next stage is to change the gear selector module. Well, we're going to have to send that off, so it's going to take a little while, but I'm going to do a how-to guide and actually removing that, well, potentially try and do a how-to guide, because I've got to work out how to get this whole center console off. We've got a little toolkit with us, so because obviously luckily, you know, silver lining actually broke down at home, so you know, we're not in the middle of nowhere or whatever and had to get it recovered, so I'm very fortunate there. So we're going to get all of this all off, get this little module out, and fingers crossed that is the problem. So if you are interested to see, watch the next video, watch the how-to guide, and then we'll actually do another video on the Range Rover. So if you are interested in Range Rover content, give us a like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. See you later.